Welcome back. No losses, just lessons. Podcast at Konan BBQ in Tampa, Florida. My name is Michael Trigg, my co-host.
Saba Baptiste. Thank you once again. We're here with no losses, just lessons, and we're going to talk about today a very interesting topic that we all probably have some input in. So what's the topic, Michael? What's
We're going to talk about where we left off last week with the 50-50 situation with everybody splitting the rent, splitting all the bills 50-50 down the middle. And I think Saba made some great points last week when talking about that. She was saying that you got to do what works for you, your household.
Yeah.
And if that's something y'all agreed to, then so be it. If it's 70-30, if that's what y'all agreed to, so be it.
Right.
And only problem I think that a man would have with it being 70-30 or 80-20 or 90-10, we have expectations with that.
Right.
You know, so it can't be 70-30, 80-20, 60-40 or 90-10, and when I get home, certain things are not done.
Okay, so
Even if we both work, but if I'm taking 70% of the load, I still want a meal, home-cooked meal, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And a lot of times, you know, we're in this time now where women, equality, they make just as much money as men, they want just as much as say as men. But they still want to live by the old ways where a man pay for everything. They homemakers, but they have a salary that he's sitting on.
Oh, so not every woman is the same.
Right.
And
not every situation is the same,
and
but we're talking about it for that reason, because why we have to discuss should it be 50-50?
So let me just say this.
Okay.
Some things, if just like you discuss what percentage each person in that relationship going to contribute to the overall.
Right.
What about have some non-negotiables, right?
Right.
There's some non-negotiables that I would like a home-cooked meal 4 days a week on
Right.
this date and that. Those are non-negotiables. And she may say, I want a date night where I don't have to worry about something
Come on, brother. Okay.
one night a week, right? So
Right.
there are some things that you can talk about that are non-negotiables that make you.
But Saba, that is great. That's great. I mean, and I think that people watching this podcast will understand that, and they'll put them non-negotiables in there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that needs to be talked about.
Right. So.
But the reason why men went to 50-50. Reason why, because a woman, I don't think a woman would say, let's be 50-50. I don't think a woman would say that. So I believe that's a man's mindset. It's because he's probably doing 90-10, he's not getting what he thinks he should get. So that's why he said, well, let's just go ahead and go 50-50.
But see, here's the thing, right? If we're advancing, right? Because now we have more resources, we have better opportunities in our household to be a team, right?
Together.
What we need to do is to make the family work as a whole, right? Okay. So again, 50-50 look different depending on the household you're in.
Right.
And 50-50 probably wouldn't be acceptable to some households.
Right.
Because when you say 50-50, are you saying you're talking about financial responsibility?
Well, man, you can say it any way you want. I'm sorry, Saba. Go ahead.
No worries. Financial responsibilities, chores, clean up the house, cook. 50-50 is really a vague statement,
It is.
Really.
But so that's why you have the communication is most important in that situation. But if a man is doing 90-10, they're just giving the cleaning got to be done. I mean, I'm speaking as a man. The cleaning need to be done. Food need to be done. The cleaning need to be done. If you're working, okay. So if you're working and I'm paying 90% of the bills, well, if you need a cleaner lady, you can get a cleaner lady with your salary, just as long as it get done.
Right. I agree with that.
So that's it.
But again, it goes back to a contractual kind of process, right? So the expectations, like you said.
Right.
So if you say to that your spouse, here's the things that need to happen on your side of your 50-50.
Right.
Okay. Can we talk about how you're going to get them done?
Right.
Okay. And then she talks about, okay, can you talk about your 50% and now tell me how you're going to get that done? So everybody knows what it looks like to get it done.
I got
right? You. But 50-50, again, it looks different in each household.
It definitely does. But so it comes back to what my partner, James Reddick, said. Same thing. We talking about 50-50, but they didn't say 50-50, but he said Trigg, he had to train his wife, Kim, to the things that he wanted, and Kim had to train him to the things that she wanted.
And I agree with that.
And it works for them. I mean, they've been married 20 plus years, but 50-50 was never discussed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the point. It's the expectations and what those things in a marriage look like and who's going to do them and how I like them done, so to speak.
Right. But once again, 50-50 only come about when a man, to me, when a man is doing the most and he's not satisfied with his other half contribution. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think.
Because like I said before, I don't think a woman ever say, honey, let's go 50-50 on the bills. Because really a woman don't want to do that. It's not a chauvinistic statement, that's the truth. If you take a survey of 100 women, how many of y'all want to pay half of the bills in your household? I guarantee you 100% say, not me. So, and a man, I'm not saying that a man mind paying all the bills, because I didn't. I just wanted certain things done while I was doing that. It's a little help.
No, I mean, it's a partnership. It's supposed to be healthy.
Right.
I mean, if everybody has to uphold their side of the family or the situation that makes things work. And if you don't, that's breakdown of communication. That's an unwilling participant.
Yeah, so, it always comes back. So I always use my life, you know what I'm saying? So it comes back to like myself and Tawanza. And I didn't realize this, but her sister said to me that, Mike, you started a barbecue business. That's what you started. And my friend Redbone, James Reddick, he said, hey man, over here, brother. He said, hey, this is your business venture, okay? So if she helped, that's good, but it's yours. You know what I'm saying? It's not that y'all doing together, it's yours.
Right.
She's the educator. So when I needed help from her, want to come in and she didn't want to come, I couldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, it's like damn, she's going to benefit from it in the long run. When God blessed it, you know what I'm saying, she's able to get them handbags that she wanted, you know what I'm saying? So just come in and help a little bit, So that's all I'm saying. So it's just, like we said, no losses, just lessons.
Right.
And the viewers should get the point that we're trying to make. Not tearing anybody down, educating. That's it. That's my focal point. It's always got to be education. Go ahead.
So, okay, one of the number one things break down in all relationships, whether it's a marriage or organization, is communication.
Definitely.
That's always the key, right? So maybe a renegotiation could have occurred when you got the restaurant to say, this is what I need you to help me with. Are you willing to do that? Sometimes we assume that a person's going to be all in because it's our idea, but then that's the time to go back in to renegotiate and just to see if that person is open for renegotiation. Right. That's all I'm saying.
So like, I guess when I started this business 12 years ago, we were both teaching. We were both educators. Tawan's still educating right now. And I told her that I had to find something to do so I could spend more time with our son.
Right.
Because I was a teacher, but I had outside children, so I had child support that was killing my check. I made $274.58 every 2 weeks from the school district. So that's out of 47,000, something like that. On the high end, 52. But the child support was just eating away, so I had to work 3 jobs. I worked at Circle K, worked at a group home, and I had no time with Mike. So I got to, so me starting that, I had to find something that I can subsidize my income to take care of all my children.
Right.
And God blessed me with this place right here.
Right.
So I'm thinking I'm clear with her, but obviously I wasn't. And I could have, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't just because of our conversation right now. I didn't say to Wanza, I'm gonna need for you to do this right here. I just said I'm gonna start this business, boom, 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 and I went out there and God prayed about it, and bam, God blessed it.
Right, and that's what we keep forgetting. As in a relationship, we have to take our communications up here. We have to like over communicate almost, and check on communication
and revisit topics.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
and put new stuff on the table when things change.
Right,
right,
because things have definitely changed from day one.
Right.
Day one, I think the year one I made $12,000 here. So it was nothing. Over here, brother. Over here. So it was, but
right.
I still didn't manage my portion of the bills. But then there came a time where I could pay all the bills.
Right.
It really didn't want to because she makes a great salary too. So what are you gonna do with your money? Is it going to account for us or something like that? And we never discussed none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it's just like you learn, you do better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So that's communications is something we all can improve in.
Yeah.
We can all improve on communications, and I like to think, like we just said, everything is a contractual, you know. So your responsibility, my responsibility, come together, make a whole, make the family work.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something that could be new in our relationships, right? We never looked at it like that, you know. Maybe we don't have to struggle. Maybe we don't have to do 90% if we have that open communication ongoing.
Right.
Every time something changes, hey, I need your help over here. Can you help me do this? You know?
Yeah. I think. You okay, ma'am?
I think she got one of my paper.
Okay. All right. So I think that you're spot on.
Right.
And in Saba, I promise you, if somebody had a podcast 12 years ago and I'd have watched it, I'd probably be in a different situation right now today. So hey, that's some good information. I appreciate it. But even moving forward with me, with you, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna be learning. So
always learning. When we stop learning, then we usually kick the bucket, kick rocks.
Right. So I'm looking forward to teaching and putting to practice what we're teaching.
Exactly.
So
right.
I got a topic I want to change up though.
Okay.
I want to go back to this right here. This is pretty serious right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that hope I'm saying it right. We are the most racist people to ourselves as black men and women. Our culture, we don't support each other the way we need to, and it's killing our culture and it's killing the community. In fact, we're killing each other. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, we hear this everywhere we go. We do. Our worst enemies is our own people.
Right.
Right. We don't have enough compassion for each other. We don't love each other. We don't help each other. And we look around and we see other groups and other cultures helping each other.
Definitely.
And we also look around and we see our group helping that group, but they just won't help their group, black people.
And that's so baffling to me. So, like I said before, from day one, when we started this podcast, I've always been the one to just, because people say, I don't know where to start, I just start.
Right.
So I try to help everybody that I can. I don't really see color, but I would like to help our people be more successful as a whole,
Well, I just like to touch on what you just said. You have to see color, right? And here's why.
Okay.
There is a sentiment out there when you don't see color, that's when you're the most racist, right? Because equity is a key to all of us being treated well.
Right.
And our black group have not achieved equity in any sense of the word as
Okay.
of yet. That's what I'm saying.
I got you, I understand, but I still believe that I don't believe that a person, I know we haven't received the assistance that most other cultures have. But even in this community right here, Carver City governed itself. You know, we had a thing when I was a little boy, I heard my grandma talking about, we recycle that black dollar 3 times before it leaves the community. And even if we did that, Saba, we're the #1 consumers in the world.
We are.
You know what I'm saying? I think blacks are the most #1 purchasers of Mercedes.
Oh, really? I
You know
thought
what
it
I'm
was
saying?
Cadillacs.
You know, it used to be.
Yeah, it used to
You
be.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But the thing about it is, why? You know what I'm saying? We struggle to make that payment and just for show. Or you got it to make the payment, but you know what I'm saying? If you like finer things, go for it. But my whole thing is,
I just want to say that that's interesting, but what we have to learn collectively, a group collectively doing well says we're doing well,
Right.
not sprinkle individuals.
Right.
And that's what we struggle with from day in and day out.
so we have you guys that are doing very well, the rappers, athletes, and outside of LeBron James, I mean, there's some more out there, but LeBron James, man, the things that he's doing in Akron, the things that he did in Akron for that community,
Right.
he will always be, you know what I'm saying, my #1 guy, you know, because Michael Jordan,
High five.
yeah, Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson,
Right.
Magic Johnson's my favorite player.
Right.
He has the same ability to do what LeBron James did, but he didn't. And that's his choice.
Right.
LeBron has a different heart.
Right.
And you can't get mad at people for what they choose to do with their money. But when you talk about us as a culture, you know, and you want to lift us up, you know what I'm saying? Like we get so mad when we are killed by cops of different colors, but we kill each other more than they do. But there's no riot then.
And you know what else too, that we don't know that though, right? We think we are so conservative against each other, right? We are not willing to do the hard work to bring our communities up to standards. We're not really, like for instance, just the idea that you send your kids to school unprepared to read. You see, and so the things that we can do, because we can't do everything, but the things that you can do, that you have access to do, we fail to do that. And so there's got to be a reason. What do you think the reason is?
Well, that's like I told you before. Let me ask you a question. Was your kid sent to school unprepared to read?
No.
Ask me that same question.
Were your kids sent to school unprepared to read?
No, Mike wasn't.
Right.
You understand? So, like I told you, it's the masses that we're talking about.
Right.
And uneducated families, you know, like, just being honest with you, inner city kids and some of the brightest kids.
Right.
But when you're not pushed a certain way to be the best, or you're not reading with your kids daily, you know what I'm saying, or teaching them the skills they need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody go to VPK, you know, now, you know what I'm saying? But the parents look at it as a break. You know what I'm saying? I remember Mike with VPK, he had to come home and tell me what he learned, and we went over some other stuff.
Exactly.
When Mike was in the 1st grade, in the summer, I went to Lakeshore.
Right.
And got stuff in 2nd grade. So when he get to 2nd grade,
that was my favorite store too.
Right. So he'll be ahead.
Right.
You know, and just, you know, me and his mom went back and forth with that. She said, "Give him a break. He's already smart." I said, "Yeah, he got to stay smart."
Right.
You know, so that's what it is.
And it's about investment, right?
Right, but it's just little things like that. Just
That's it.
It don't really matter where you come from.
No, it don't.
Because if you, you know, we was raised in Tampa Housing Authority projects, but my grandmother lived in Carver City, both of them, all 3 of them for that matter. But when we went over there, just, hey, how your grades, education, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had to get it. You know, just certain things, man, that back in our day, schools were so different.
Right.
You know, when I was in 1st grade, Hillsborough County was the model for the country in education.
Really?
Yes. So we had a lot of black educators, Miss Robinson, Miss Shepard, Miss Robinson, Miss Shepard, Miss Miss Jones, Miss White, and those were my teachers, you know, Miss Williams, and you had to get it. They were not putting you through. It's like a
Right.
black college almost
Right.
back in those days.
Right.
So,
right.
You know.
And you had to show you got it, right?
Exactly.
You couldn't, yes.
Yeah.
And,
So when the parents fail to educate, we had some strong black educators
Right.
back then.
Right.
They'll fill in the gaps for you.
Right.
But now, education has changed so much. We have black educators and we have some good white educators, but they're teaching different methods, pass the test method. They're not even educating anymore.
well, what I like to say is that the teachers can't do it all. And there is, if you have not taken the time to introduce your 5-year-old how to understand sounds and phonemes and alphabets and numbers, when they start kindergarten, they are already 2 years behind.
Right.
So, but they're home, so you can't say school is responsible for that. If
Right.
you're home at 3 years old, 3 and 4, you have to be going through some type of learning process to prepare you for kindergarten.
So you have inner city daycares, and you have daycares in suburban America. So inner city daycares are probably overstaffed, understaffed, a lot of kids. So in suburban America, the daycares, where you got moms, just stay-home moms, volunteer to make sure that they're getting it.
Of course.
In the inner city, we don't have the luxury of having a stay-home mom. So it's not that sometimes mom don't want to do, but mom work 3 jobs. Or dad done work 3 jobs, you know?
I don't know if you remember Kemmons. I used to work downtown.
I went
Ybor.
there, yeah.
Okay, Kemmons.
Kemmons,
I
Gear
used-
Ago, all that.
Right. I used to see parents, young parents bring their young kid there in their night clothes and their rollers so they can go back home and go to sleep.
Right.
Over and over and over. No matter, in the policy, it said that, don't do it.
Right.
And time again, it was more important to drop them off because the requirements were you come in and educate and get your GED.
Right.
They would bring the kid, drop the kid off so they can go home and get
So
sleep.
that's what we're talking about. So, but we kind of got off topic a little bit, but education starts
key.
at home. At home
it's
first.
home. It's
you know
home.
what I'm saying? But I want to get back on topic with
Okay.
the
Do you
racist-
think black people are racist or prejudiced? And the reason why I want to talk about it in that definition, because I'm going to just read racism to you, and let's see. Or racist, prejudice, or self-hating, and give a definition of those, okay? So first, racist. Showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, one that is a minority or marginalized.
Okay.
That's racist, okay?
Okay. All right.
That's the definition Webster gives.
Okay.
Prejudice, preconceived opinions that is not based on reason or actual experience. Harm or injury that results and may result from some action or judgment. Something can happen to you because that person is prejudiced towards you.
Okay.
That can be harmful.
Right.
And can derail your future maybe.
Right,
Okay?
okay.
And then let's go with self-hate or self-loathing is a pattern or thoughts or feelings of self-hatred and extreme criticism of oneself or its membership or their racial group.
Wow. So reading all those, I would have to say self-hate.
Self-hate? Okay.
Yeah. I would say self-hate. Even
Okay.
it's to the point where I have a nephew that's number 15, ranked number 15th in the country, plays football at Berkeley. And I told my brother already, I said, be prepared for this because we knew he was going to be successful. His work ethic is through the roof. A great student. He's always been one of the best playing Little League football.
Right.
And I had already went through it with Mike. And so I just said, man, it's going to be some things that you're going to be baffled by. But when you have friends, so-called friends, hating on his kid, you know what I'm saying? Not happy about his success.
Wow.
So, and it's another kid, DJ Pickett. Dad posted something on Facebook. DJ Pickett's the top 10 kid in the country. You know, these are two best kids probably in the state. You know, and they are very successful, great kids, great athletes, great students. And us, people, black people, have something to say about their accomplishments, and it's sickening.
Wow. So I want to just interject. I want you to keep talking about that, but I want to. Do you know who J. Cole is? Rapper J. Cole.
I'm not a rap guy, but I know who J. Cole is.
Right. About 3 years ago, I'm not a rap guy either, but I have a particular young adult. He is.
Okay.
Okay. So J. Cole accepted this award, and he said, first, I like to thank all of my haters because they were my motivators.
Right.
So we know they're out there, the haters. We know they look like us if we're doing well. Serena went through it.
Well,
We know they're all, we know they're out there. And I think your question is why? Why can't we be a better group of people and support them and uplift them?
Right.
We tend to eat our own, and that's an oppressed group. Oppressed group eat your own because they feel powerless.
Yeah, but so, my favorite movie,
Serafina.
that's one of them. But the other one is Ali.
Oh, yeah. I have to.
And I love Ali.
I love him.
I love Ali because in that movie, everybody that was somebody in the 60s was in one room at the same time.
Right.
You had Red Fox.
Yeah.
You had Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
You had Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Those are all the best at their
Right.
thing they did, you know what I'm saying? And it was in one setting.
Right.
And that's the closest that we had.
Right.
We were so close and we was just together like that.
Right.
So you think that, just imagine if we could have kept that pattern going now.
What year was that? Era.
It was like the 60s.
Okay, so think about what we're saying.
Yeah, but like the 60s, it was a great time.
It
for
was
us.
great. It was great. The unity was off the chart, right?
Because it had to be, because what they was doing to us.
Okay.
And I get it. So my brother was saying that, pretty much the same thing we're saying. He's saying like he works for the city of Tampa, and he said he got this, the Hispanic culture. They're just so close to each other. You know what I'm saying? He said like they come together. They just hired a new guy, and one of his coworkers she go out her way to make sure that he's okay every day. And that's a beautiful thing. She speaks to my brother as well, but she goes out her way to make sure that
She takes ownership of that.
Yeah, because, and that's powerful.
That is powerful.
And he asked me this morning, well, Mike, why we don't do that? I said, I'm gonna speak on it today in the podcast. And I really don't know. I said, but Pelham, it's just probably like that in Tampa, because when I was in Fort Valley, it is the most cordial place you ever be. I used to be jogging in the city, everybody waves. Alabama, same thing. It's just different because in those places, we had to be together. Those little small towns like that, Tuscaloosa, we had to stick together.
Right,
So, like, hey, you okay, son? Yes, ma'am. Just get a jog in.
Right.
Stuff like that. Birmingham, same thing.
Well, you've been living here your entire life. I have never seen a city. They are not unified here. Blacks are not unified here.
No, it's clicked up.
And even the clique is not really devoted to each other when certain things come up. So nobody takes care of anybody in Tampa in terms of generally.
Right.
Now, like you say, they clicked up, okay. But in terms of group love, no,
So
no,
we
no.
we had the Greek games last week, and that's Divine Nine. All the
Oh yeah, I've been to a couple.
So that's all the fraternity sororities, and it was a good vibe, but we still got to do better with it. It was a good vibe. I mean, it was probably one of the better ones I've been to, but we still need to be reaching out, bringing the community with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Now that's the education, because
Right.
people don't do that here.
Right.
That is the education.
And so you know, when you're Greek and you're an undergrad, you're a campus leader, trailblazer. You know, so you set the stage for the student body. So they're looking at you. You know, you got the newts,
Right.
you got the alphas, you got the Qs,
Right.
you got the deltas, the AKs, the sigma zetas, and they're trying to figure out where they belong. But based on the leadership in those organizations, that's where you go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, we could spend the next 50 years on unity.
right. But even with that being said, Saba, so at the Greek Games, same leadership. That was an undergrad. Now we're in alumni status.
Okay.
So we still got to be the leaders in the community where we dwell.
Okay.
To pull the community with
Okay,
us, you know,
okay.
and educate.
Okay.
Because everything we're talking about, whether it's self-hate, racist, prejudice, it starts with education.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be mad because he has something that you don't have. Work your ass off to get it.
But
If he's better
but
than
it's
you-
the opposite way. Don't keep somebody from having it,
Right.
because that's a lot that goes on here too.
Right. Okay. I believe that if you work a certain way and you want something, positive work, positive
I agree.
labor, plus prayer equals God given.
I agree, and that's a definite. I agree with you.
So a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, like, and what you're saying is, you guess most of the time people have their foot on your neck.
Right.
Won't let you get
They
up.
will try,
saying?
not
Yeah.
let you, but you have to struggle to get up.
Right.
And those people that usually have their foot on your neck is people that look exactly like you.
Right.
And they're in key positions, and you wonder what kind of mindset is that.
I got to share this story with you. So Mike played basketball at Sefner Christian. And they had a pretty good team. His sophomore year, they played for the state, and they lost to Westminster down Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And the next year, they had a team coming back. We were supposed to go back to state.
Right.
But Mike got mad at one particular game, and he said something in the group chat. A number of his teammates and former players, and one of the guys betrayed the group. Told his mama, it's a black family, and they went and told the head of school. So they suspended Mike for a game. And I didn't understand that because that particular family, when that kid, if they can't go to the game, he belongs to me. You know, he's never wanted anything. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just like Mike at that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, even right now, I don't have any malice intent in my heart towards him. I've seen him, and the kid he's doing excellent. Excellent. He's a football player, Ivy League school, he's doing great. And I've seen him this summer, and he know, if they ask his parents, have Mr. Trigg ever did the thing? Mr. Trigg didn't nobody help me.
Right.
And so, you can't trade places. When I tell my brothers all the time, you're going to be facing this situation, don't trade places with them, because if you do, you become them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
agree.
You know, just uplift them and just keep it moving.
Exactly. Yeah, you keep it going because the score don't have to be settled with you.
Right.
You just
But-
keep it moving.
So that's one of those things, like, that's the self-hate. You know, put the work in, get up in the morning, come to the gym, do some extra work. You know, and if it's academics, get some extra tutoring. You know, whatever you got to do.
Right.
Just study yourself approved. You know, if you got to get another job to make sacrifice for your family, you got to do that.
You got to do that.
You got to be
Right.
willing to do that for the kids. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, as grown people, and we have children, we want their kids, their lives to be better than ours.
Right, always.
And
Each
so-
generation's supposed to have it
Right.
better.
So-
And that's a good segue.
How was it, guys?
Delicious.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you guys for stopping in. All right.
So what I just like to say, we're going to translation.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to just give people some, I guess, some action to the educational piece. Let's try to unify. Let's try to have some compassion for each other. Find out what a person needs and see if you can help them. Because our goal is to uplift the masses. And self-hate can't be involved. Racism towards each other can't be involved. Prejudice can't be involved. Let's look like we care about each other and do it as if we is ourselves. And I just like to say the opposite of self-hate is self-love or compassion, self-compassion. You can apply it to love for your group or racial group compassion. That's something that we need to really practice because we're so far behind of everybody else.
Right.
Add to that.
So if you're on Facebook, KD Williams, what he's gonna put out is put out love. Mm-hmm. Don't put out hate. That's my frat brother. Jersey right there, Green Bay Packers. You know what I'm saying? Jefferson grad. You know, and that's what it's all about, man.
Right.
Put out love, not hate, man.
And if we're supposed to be the most Christian or the ones that love God the most, then we have to buy into that, right? Love one another.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have to love one another and you have to do right and do good by one another.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree?
I would, but you about to open up a whole other box talking about Christian and the most. We had to be the most because we was oppressed the most.
Right.
So I mean, you know, you got if we about to get out of here, but I just gotta leave with this right here. if you're brought to this land, mm-hmm. and you got to pick all this cotton, and if you don't, you're gonna get whipped, beat to death, pretty much. You can't even sing the song. You got to change the words so your master don't know what you're singing.
Right.
Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Come by here, my Lord. Come by. You can't even say that.
Yeah.
Because you get a serious whipping.
Right.
So that's why we love the Lord so much. Because even in that, picking that cotton, and they'll be saying Kumbaya, it might be a brisk rain.
Right.
Come.
Cool your body out.
Yes, because he was out there.
Right.
Even in those terrible times, he always be present.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It might be a brisk wind.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't get me started, man. I gotta get out of here, man. Hey, thanks a lot. Go ahead.
And I like to say we're talking about the Creator, God.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's
yes,
what
sir.
we're talking about.
Yeah,
and thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy this educational session on we started with our question, do you think Black people are racist or prejudiced, and is it predicated on self-hate? So think about that when you're talking to your fellow man, your fellow child, and in your fellow community. So thank you, and we love you.
God bless. Yo.